Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, my name is Lydia and I am the Witch of Multirealms. Today, I'll be reading for those who have been seeing the numbers 0808. Before I start, I would like to remind everyone that many different pairs of eyes will be watching this reading, and you come from different stories, background, cultures in life, and the situation is simply not the same for everyone. So for whatever details I provide in this reading, please take what resonates and leave the rest for those that find the details applies to their situation. And this is a timeless reading. So whatever time you find this message, it does not necessarily have to be the exact date I put this out. Now it's about mid-September in 2024. One day down the road, you might come across this video, and when you do, it simply means that it's time for Spirit to send you this message. Last but not least, tarot reading is a form of advice and guidance, and nothing that I'll be reading out here for you today is going to be set in stone or absolute. And so if you do not claim the story, if you do not claim the situation or advice, you can just leave it. But if you do, take it as you see fit. Again, it's not the dictation of your life. You do not have to hand your power over to what tarot tells you. This is simply a form of advice and guidance that Spirit is providing for you. Alright, so let's start. I'm going to be pulling a signifier card from this deck. I'll be sharing all the decks in the description box below. Right now we're keeping it simple. It's just a Guild Tarot deck and the traditional Rider-Waite deck and the Oracle deck that I'll be using later. Okay, I'll be pulling a signifier card to see what's the overall arching theme and message for the day. Okay. So before I pull any story or situation cards from the Rider-Waite deck, I'd like to share with you your signifier card is the Eight of Swords in reverse. So I just want to show you in the upright. This is what the card looks like, Eight of Swords. Okay, and the word here says conflict. And this is what it looks like when upright. But you got it in reverse. And I think this is a very strong message that Spirit has for you, especially when it comes to the channel message that I received from Spirit regarding those that have been seeing 0808 is that now you're in a time of expansion. It's a point in your life where you need to tap into your empathy, you need to tap into your sense of affection and inner strength, and to overcome any kind of challenges that you can see ahead of you. It might be difficult to see at times, but remember, it is a time of spiritual expansion and taking maybe slow baby steps, but nevertheless taking steps ahead and toward achieving your ultimate objective is what you're working with. And we're talking about whatever you're manifesting in life coming towards you only once you can allow yourself to take steps ahead without being hindered. The Eight of Swords usually refer to a person being hindered by their own thoughts, hindered by their own limiting beliefs, or the inability to release a certain kind of thinking or way of believing. And in many ways, Eight of Swords is a person who has kept themselves bound up, blindfolded, and unable to step forward in life because of that situation. Again, it's a very do upon yourself kind of energy, very much, so I've said this in a previous reading, very often when a sword card comes out and it poses a challenge, it usually is Spirit way of saying you are the one that is blocking yourself. Okay, so before we're gonna pick some I don't do specific spreads. I read intuitively and I allow Spirit to give me however many cards it requires to tell me the situation or story you're going through. And that's what I'm doing right now. Very strong 8 energy because I'm getting 8 cards. Oh my goodness me, as I was saying. Not kidding. I'm not kidding. Right. Okay. Yes, I'm definitely seeing this is a very straightforward message for quite a few of you going through this phase of your life. The overarching message here is about what you need to let go of in order to receive what is waiting for you. Yeah. Okay. You got yourself 8 of Cups in reverse. The Strength card. As you can see, we have 8 as an opener, and then 8 of Cups, and then Strength card being 8 as well. You have King of Wands in reverse. 4 of Swords in reverse. A lot of reverse cards here, if you're wondering. Tower in reverse. Oops. The Devil in the upright. And Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, as you can see, you have a lot of reverse cards. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is Spirit telling me that you are right now, again, in a space of expansion. You're probably shifting between different realities. You want to very badly go towards something that you are trying to manifest. I sense an energy of a person who, it's like a, wow. It's like you're trying to shift. You're really trying to shift into another space. You want to elevate your vibration, perhaps. You want to bring yourself closer to the better outcome of something that you are trying to bring into your reality. Why am I saying that? Because you have here the King of Wands, but it's in reverse. Okay, and in conjunction, you also have the Queen of Pentacles, but it's in reverse. I see 2 court cards here, one divine feminine aspect of you and one divine feminine and one divine masculine aspect of you. In this is entirely, I'm seeing you here, both King and Queen, and I'm seeing that you have something you're after. Okay, with the Pentacle and the Wand, these King and Queen aspects, you know, King of Wands and Queen of Pentacles, they are both characters with the desire to nurture, create. Okay, like the Queen of Pentacles nurture her pentacles. She's abundant. She has it all. She has what she has. She's keeping not only her finances in security for herself, but she's also then able to provide for those around her. Like she has that nurturing aspect of her. She's not just like growing her money for herself. Like this is beyond just growing money for oneself, but I'm seeing here in Queen of Pentacles that you're growing whatever you're growing. Okay, Pentacles being, most of the time we're talking about finances, but it could be other things. You could be growing your career. You could be growing even your studies and development of skills. It could be anything along those lines that are more set in this 3-dimensional reality. And why am I saying money though? Because there is a King of Wands here. Usually this ties in with King of Wands being a very entrepreneurial person, a person who is developing a business, creating a new project, having new ideas, inspirations, and it's sort of like a very inventor, innovator kind of energy. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It might be a business we're talking about here. It might be a new project or a career. Okay, whatever it is, I'm seeing that Queen of Pentacles, you you want to develop this. Of course, it's not a vanity project. It is not just some insane desire to grow lots of money for the fun of it, but this is very tied to your own sense of security and balance, not just for yourself, but also to provide for those around you whom you love. And also, the King of Wands himself, the innovator, the creator, the person who sits on the throne, when in upright, of course. The person who sits on the throne holds the wand in confidence, and it's a wand that with everlasting growth. And he is, interestingly also, not many people might know, is that there's this little salamander here. Salamander it's a very adorable sight, honestly, if you think about it. Salamander has so much, it's like a little shapeshifter's energy, and also so much potential for growth, because we're talking about what do we know about lizards? If they lose a tail, they don't die. They lose a tail only because a situation puts them in certain peril, and then they lost a tail. But they escape the situation, and then the next thing you know, they grow back the tail. So it's a very it's like you can preserve yourself. The King of Wands gives me this energy of a person who not only innovates and is entrepreneurial, has a new business always, almost like a serialpreneur, in fact, if anything, and then able to constantly regrow and regrow. Even if it's like nothing puts him down, nothing pushes out his fire kind of energy. And of course, that's what I see in the King of Wands. And I see your King of Wands in reverse. Interestingly, I'm not seeing Spirit here saying that you don't have it in you. But rather, when I see King of Wands and Queen of Pentacles coming out like this, I see that Spirit is saying, that's what you want. That's what you're trying to get to. That's what you're trying to create. But there is, there's a but here. There's something in your way. With your opening card, which is Eight of Swords in reverse, saying conflict. Now, this conflict is, I don't believe someone's giving you a conflict. It's more likely than not you have a conflict in thoughts and ideas inside your mind. Okay, and to some individuals, this might have to do with what's in your head. Okay, because we're talking about swords here. It's all very mental. It's all in your head. Again, take what resonates. For some, it really truly is all in your head with regards to past failures, perhaps, with regards to past experiences where things did not bode well for you. So you have your sort of like lack of self-belief, maybe a bit of self-bashing thoughts, self-sabotaging thoughts. You're simply like binding yourself up in a stalemate and not moving forward, not being able to move forward because it's you doing it to yourself in your head. Now, some of you have this situation, whereas some of you, I sense Spirit is saying, you need to walk away. You need to walk away from the situation because someone else might be causing you to not be able to grow or expand. Perhaps in your area. Again, I see a shifting energy. You know what I'm talking about when I say shifting? You're trying to, when you try to quantum shift through the different parallel realities and outcomes of what you can do for yourself, everybody to some degree is trying to maximize their potential. Okay, I'm not saying everybody, but to those who are much more aware, are trying to shift towards a potential of yourself. And it doesn't stop, as long as you're a person who manifests and tries to bring yourself closer and closer to the outcome of what you want, you are always in the motion of shifting. And whether or not you're doing your shifting consciously or subconsciously, intently or unintentionally, it really all depends on your own level of awareness in this entire consciousness. Okay, but what I'm seeing here is that you are, it looks like you are in the process of trying to shift and trying to get into a zone where you can come closer to your King of Wands and Queen of Pentacles energy, but something's blocking you. And what's blocking you could be, again, all in the mind for yourself, or it could be some people in your area that's causing you to block. It could be the actions that they take, the things they do with you, the simply you are not able to work together with them or have them around in your life. Maybe the way they are causes certain kind of trigger, and it simply isn't working out for you. It might be the thing that is causing you to have sabotaging thoughts in your head. And what Spirit is saying is it's time to walk away, right? You need to walk away. You are walking away, but you got this in reverse. So this is Spirit saying you need to walk away. And how best to walk away than to tap into your own inner strength? You got the Strength card in upright, which is also a very interesting card because it's an 8 card. Today I'm doing reading for those who are seeing 0808, and the message from Spirit really came in very strong when Spirit told me that 888 and 88s and 48s, people who have been seeing these numbers, it's a very strong shifting energy. Again, depending on how you're shifting, where you're shifting. And the reason why I say so is these are all not like numbers put out here for the sake of, we're not having a field trip by just talking about numbers. It really has a lot of correlation to whatever that's been happening since August, and the Lionsgate portal being 8 and 8. We're not having a play with numbers again, like I say. It all happens for a reason. We're not trying to attribute these numbers to like lucky numbers whatsoever. But actually, more importantly, it's about stepping through these cosmic alignments and planetary shifts. They all are here for a reason. It's about stepping through that portal and truly, bravely embracing what's on the other side, what's waiting for us, the highest potential, And for those who have been consciously putting themselves into this space, clearly, there are also a lot of you who require this kind of, let's just say, the messages and guidance from Spirit. Which literally brings me back to this is why I'm doing this today. Okay, before I waffle on and lose you in the process. So let me remind you, you have yourself the Strength card here, and the Strength card usually denotes a person who is in a very graceful way, getting the lion to open its mouth. She's putting her hand in. There's no struggle. It's all a very graceful process. And if anything, I see, with the infinity sign above her head, the synchronicities are just insane here, all the 8s. And this card, of course, is 8. Leo is very 8 energy. I see Spirit saying that one of the best way to alchemize this situation is to embrace that quality of inner strength that you have in you. You've come quite far. Considering you're on this line of path, it's not your first time understanding where you're at in life, overcoming these various types of energies and challenges. You've come quite far to not know that you definitely have that inner strength quality in you to alchemize and overcome this energy. And in many, many ways, I feel like Spirit is saying, don't give up. Don't give up. If you have the King of Wands, you have the Queen of Pentacles in your sight, in your line, don't give up. Know for sure that you definitely have the inner strength in you to see what it is for what it is. Not let your judgment be clouded by thoughts that are irrelevant or people that are irrelevant. And does not serve you in your situation. And I don't mean serve you like in a very egoistical fashion, but we all know who in our lives have energies and vibrations that do not match up with ours, do not align with ours. You will know who they are, right? So then you need to know what you need to step away from. The card that comes between your, so this is rather interesting, between your King of Pentacles, between your King of Wands in reverse to your Queen of Pentacles in reverse, actually are the Four of Swords in reverse, the Tower in reverse, and then the Devil in the upright. Okay? And what I'm seeing here is Spirit is saying, when you are unconscious, could be when you're dreaming, could be when you are not actively when you're not actively aware of what you're thinking. So I'm okay, you know, Four of Swords usually denotes a person resting, meditating, going into the dream world or anything of that sort. Basically taking a break sometimes. It could be as simple as take a break, don't overthink it, you know, because like this will be upright, sword being all in the head and thinking. Sometimes it's just very straightforward to say that this is a card of let's not overthink it. But you got it in reverse. And again, I see it as Spirit is saying you might have some thoughts that constantly pop into your head in a very subconscious fashion, in a very in your most like unaware state. You have these thoughts. Okay? And they are the ones that hinder your process. When challenges come your way, you do not know how to catch your fall. Am I making sense here? I hope. Look, if this resonates for you, because I'm channeling as I get these cards, I'm speaking and channeling intuitively as I felt this is what Spirit wants me to say. Is that, and also there are hundreds of ways to see one card, so I'm not going to tell you what these cards mean, like the off the book meanings of these cards, because intuitively we are seeing what Spirit is telling you. What I'm seeing is Spirit is saying that in your most unconscious state, it could be when you're not thinking, when you're not aware, when your guard is down, when your mental constitution is down, when your spiritual constitution is down, right? That's where you fall. That's where you fall victim to your own set of possibly self-sabotaging thinking, or allowing any external sources to put thoughts in your head. Thus, when challenges do come your way, right, in every phase of our spiritual journey, there are challenges, big and small. So when challenges come your way, you either don't see them coming or you cannot catch your fall. Okay? And of course, in accompaniment to these two cards, I see you got yourself the Devil card, which very much, excuse me, speaking of the Devil, which very much illustrates a person who, in masculine, okay, again, the Devil card, we are not reading it today based off a love situation. So I'm not going to say this has anything to do with, you know, a love situation or a relationship, but more so I see this as you and your internal struggles, you and your own divine femininity and divine masculine having some internal struggle. Okay? I see this being you yourself having some degree of obsessive thoughts, or I'm actually not seeing obsessive behaviors. I'm actually seeing really more obsessive thoughts. It could be obsessive thoughts that are not serving you. It could be somebody, okay, not ruling out, it could be somebody that behaves a certain way around you that puts you in this energy, the Devil energy, whereby you feel you're trapped or chained up. Like, I cannot move forward, I cannot move backward, I don't know what to do, I am blinded from freedom. As you can see, the male and female here, they are having a chain around their neck, but are they truly incapable of breaking free? No, not really. Their hands are free, they're not bound. They're just standing there, they look quite la-di-da. They don't look like they're suffering. No hot pokers poking at them. They are not tortured, but they look like they are not moving forward nor backward. They simply are standing at the foot of the devil. So this is really more of a allowing oneself to be trapped kind of energy, right? And thereby I'm saying it could be you and your thoughts trapping yourself. It could be someone around you trapping you in their energy because of the way they might have said something, behaved a certain way. And that's why Spirit has here the Eight of Cups for you to say that you need to move away from it. Right. And there we have your situation. That's not the extent of your advice from Spirit. Now I'm going to be pulling some clarifiers and advice from Spirit to have a deeper understanding of what we're seeing here. We have a lot of reverse cards. Okay. Very, like, literally everything is reversed except for two cards here. Okay. I wanted to understand a little bit better what is this Eight of Cups energy. Okay. And Spirit's given me Ace of Swords in reverse and Six of Wands in upright. What I'm seeing here, actually the story is kind of getting clearer as it goes. What I'm seeing here is, I think Spirit is saying, you are not without divine guidance. You're not without, like, Spirit talks to us and gives us guidance and messages in its own way, in whatever way you are psychically able to receive. All of us are different. Some people are very deeply, very clairvoyant. So they see visions. Some people are clairaudient. So they hear, sort of like hear in not literally the words, but it's really more like in the head they hear what spirit says to them. Sometimes it really is another form of clairvoyance is people being able to spot the signs and synchronicities that are being presented to them a little bit more acutely than the others. But what I'm trying to say here is, I think spirit is saying they are trying to send you signs. They have been trying to send you signs and signals to show you what you need to walk away from, or what you need to stop letting yourself be trapped in terms of thinking. And again, if we're talking about something that has a lot to do with thinking, I've said in many previous videos that I put up under the playlist for spiritual awakening, if you're interested, please feel free to revisit any of my videos in the other section of this channel. A lot of times in our spiritual journey, Spirit is trying to guide us. Actually, many times Spirit is always trying to guide us by sending us different kinds of signs and different kinds of inspirations, different kinds of warnings, okay? But we block it, okay, or are incapable of receiving due to the way we lead our lives. Could be distraction in the form of overthinking due to work stress, due to social stress, due to the situation might be in life, especially in terms of how we handle relationships. And let's not also forget, if we don't take the time to put in some kind of routine or ritual for self-care and self-love and self-reflection, very often we simply, our vessel, our mind is not primed to receive. Okay, and this is what I'm seeing. Spirit is saying, I've got clarity for you. I've got ways to show you what you need to look at in order to help put you forward in this situation, but you are not able to receive. Now, why am I saying so? Not just based off the fact that you have your Ace of Swords in reverse, but it's accompanied by the Six of Wands. Now, you might be thinking, Six of Wands is a very good card. It's a person who is a hero, is on his steed, is on his horse, he's being cheered, he's being like thrown a party, a welcome home party for a hero, sort of. But you know what I'm seeing here? Intuitively, I'm picking up. Spirit is saying there's something going on in your life right now where the adoration and the love and the cheers that people are giving you might be the very thing that's causing you to not be able to see clearly what you're supposed to see. I know it sounds a little, I don't want to say harsh, but it sounds a little bit more like a lecture right now. But okay, again, let's not. I'm lecturing based on what Spirit is asking me to say, okay? So don't kill the messenger. Spirit is saying, I've got words for you, I've got things to tell you, but I think you're a bit distracted now. I think you are a little bit too excited about the attention you're getting. You're a bit too distracted with what goes on in your social space, perhaps. And this applies for some. Could be your social space. It could be literally social media, okay? It could be that, yeah, you are an achiever. You've got stuff that people cheer you for. Maybe you are some kind of innovator, somebody who really is kind of wonderful in producing some amazing stuff. And yes, you deserve recognition for sure. But I think maybe you're just you are reveling in the delights of this celebration, perhaps a little bit distracting. Okay, it might be a little bit distracting for you to have clear perspectives and thoughts. And why is it so important? Before we forget why we're talking about this, because Spirit says in order to have the clarity to know what you need to walk away from, We want you to have that clarity, to know what you're supposed to walk away from. I also actually got clarifier for the reverse King of Wands energy. They are simply saying, look, King of Wands, if you are truly an innovator, you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to like get a new project going in your business, trying to basically get a new enterprise of its feet, or establish, establish that position of success in your business or career. Again, divine guidance is what drives your chariot on this path, right? So without divine guidance, or maybe your chariot, you got this in reverse, by the way, maybe your chariot cannot move ahead because the energy of not moving forward is the overarching energy. There are many reverse cards here in correspondence to the reverse cards of your situation. You got reverse 5 of Wands in correspondence to the reverse Tower. Remember I said the reverse Tower looks to me like you might not have the ability to catch your fall when a chaotic moment comes your way. And I'm seeing here Spirit is saying that, the kind of challenge that might come your way in regards to this new thing that you're working on is competition. And they are telling you, okay, if you don't want to fall prey, if you don't want to fall victim or fall prey to the energy of this reverse Tower, you need to then not allow yourself to participate, or I can see a lot of ego situation here. There's a lot of ego at play here. Not fall into the situation of going into some level of competition. I think, I'm actually, so just so that I can at least tell you what I'm looking at here is that there are a lot of swords. There are a lot of wands here. I can tell you in just one glance, you're a person who knows what you're doing. You're not without skill. It's like you're a magician sort of person. You are not without skill. You have skills. You actually have the talent, and you know how to generate from whatever you know. Because the Wands energy is very strong, and furthermore, you did get your 6 of Wands in the upright. I'm seeing a person here who knows what he's doing in terms of, applying skill to results. But the problem is you are having a hard time grounding yourself you're having a hard time grounding yourself to see the results to its fruition, or at least how not to have that volatile energy of I get it fast and I lose it fast. Because the part of you that is very sword, which is all very mental, they're all in reverse. First of all, they're all in reverse. I think this is just a very big and loud message that Spirit is saying to you is you need to alchemize this. You need to let it get out of your head. You need to stop being so obsessively stuck in your head about certain things. Yeah. And I think this also is extremely strong to the fact that, they are trying to tell you that what actually is divine guidance cannot come through to you. In correspondence to your reverse 4 of Swords, I say, when you have those moments where you are not exactly conscious of your thoughts, you're like the most, again, we're not talking about you being fully asleep. Maybe it is. Maybe it's something to do with when you're dreaming and you're fully asleep, and then you have like a lot of mental chaos and purging going on in your astral world when you're sleeping. But what I'm seeing here more is like Spirit is saying, maybe you need to meditate. Because if you meditate and you ground yourself and you're thinking, perhaps you can focus a little bit more on trying to build clarity and bring in that resolution and absolution for yourself in terms of what you truly are processing in your mind and are thinking about. You got yourself the reverse King of Swords in correspondence to the reverse Four of Swords, which I think is spirit way of saying you cannot, if you want to bring in clarity, if you want to realize what is the right decision and wrong decision to do for yourself, you have to bring yourself into a place of conscious meditation and conscious thinking, awareness, right? There is, as humans in this three-dimensional reality, there is a huge difference between I'm thinking and I know how to put into action what's in my mind, okay? Because that is simply your mind and your body come into alignment. You manifest the intentions in your mind, and then your body carries out the action. But where is your spirit? In the trinity of our divine being, we have mind, body, and spirit. The mind being where you start manifesting the intention of something. Most of the more calculated, rational things go through in your mind. And usually it's very easy because, again, this is all very grounded based on Earth's reality kind of things that we do as humans. The mind tells the body, go get done. And then the body carries out the action. But let's not forget, in the entirety of our being, there's the spirit. The spirit is the one essence, the one bit of us that is it's our, I'll put it this way, it's the one that is most connected to the essence of our soul. Our higher self, the alignment of our purpose, the thing that drives us from a much more purposeful place is what our spirit takes from the soul. So in the alignment of mind, body, and spirit, very often we allowed our mind to dictate the will to do something. Because we take it that, okay, the mind says so, the mind rationalized, okay, did the maths already, okay, it's good to do it, okay, let's go do it. But actually, it's the spirit that we should be listening to. I'm not saying the mind's not important, but the mind is like a calculator, right? You have a good calculator, yeah, but you cannot let your life be driven by just simply because we're not AI. Yeah, okay, maybe let me put it this way, because we're not robotic, we're not AI. We cannot just let a rational mind be the one that tells us exactly what's right to do or what's wrong to do. The compass of purpose and right or wrong is from spirit, because that's the one thing that is the closest link to our higher self and our soul essence. Okay, so I just want to say that sometimes we get overly calculated about situations of what to do, what not to do. The results of things come in qualities or numbers, and that looks fulfilling in one glance, but might not be entirely fulfilling in the long run, and might not be the real thing that actually fetches results in the long run. And that might be what we are sometimes trapped in. It's interesting that I don't know why, don't ask me why. Sometimes spirit speaks through me with an urge, like what just happened, and I just said a whole bunch of stuff out of an urge to say it. Right. You have here, in correspondence to the devil, Knight of Sword in reverse. So the devil, of which I was explaining, you being in that chained up energy, chained up to an obsessive thought, perhaps chained up to the situation of not being able to shake off a low vibrational thought, low vibrational energy, in order to shift into a plane and place where your ultimate manifested outcome is. And that is Spirit's way of saying is that then you have to get out of that vibration where past traumatic or failures or negative narrative thoughts plague your mind. And everybody has this. Everybody has this, of course. We are creatures that takes our experience from the past. So whatever that accumulated itself as failures and traumatic thoughts, of course, we are haunted by these things, right? And Spirit is saying, yeah, but you need to then be very aware that these are the things haunting you that hinders your process and hinders your progress. As much as we heal, as much as we put ourselves through different modalities of healing, okay? Whether we go through spiritual healing or we go through the more medical and science-based, like we go see a psychologist, we go have a counselor, we have therapists helping us, and then or we could be doing other forms of spiritual healing, breathwork, sound bath, whatever it is. Lessons were there in the past, failures were there in the past as a way for us to overcome and learn and evolve and get better. It's alchemy. It's all part and parcel of spiritual and life alchemy. Right? So Spirit is saying you can only alchemize this and bring yourself to the next state of evolution and expansion only if you willingly and intently put yourself into that space to do it. And I see a lot of this message here is that you are an individual of will and power. You can do it. It's just a matter of how intentional you are with what you're doing. And the results speaks for itself. You put in this amount of result, you reap what you sow. Okay, you reap what you sow. You put in this amount of effort, you get this amount of results. Last but not least, I think they do want you to still continue trying. They do want you to continue to put your best foot forward in terms of understanding where you are taking yourself on this path. And you have the wheel of fortune in upright. I think Spirit is saying nothing short of the cosmic energies and the wheel of fortune turning, but you have to be the willing and active party in this. Nothing is set in stone. I'm glad that they gave you this, but this also could mean that they're saying the wheel of fortune is there for you, but you have to be the active player who wants to put in the intention and work to turn the wheel of fortune in your favor. Right? I sense a very strong, on a lighthearted note, now I'm going to say this, I sense like Spirit is being very serious. I feel that those people who receive aids in their synchronistic signs from Spirit are usually going through a point in their life where they can't fool around anymore. Maybe let me simplify this. It's not your first spiritual awakening. You've probably already gone through enough to make you realize the pattern that you've gone through a few rounds, you've gone through a few challenges, you've seen a few tower, okay? You understand the concept of intentional work to bring yourself to the next level. But we all are human. We sometimes get a little bit lazy. We sometimes get a little bit complacent. Sometimes get a bit egoistical, right? We all have that. And then we forget that we have to really, really put in that intentional work. As you climb higher and higher into the mountains and you scale the next peak and the next peak, you are, and this metaphorical and factual, as you get into the higher and higher parts of the mountains and the peaks, you are also navigating further and further away from ground and sea level. The air gets thinner, the slopes get steeper, the view gets foggier, you know. So the skill level that you have to put in to evolve and take yourself to the next is gonna be harder. And thereby the intention and the effort also has to match that, you know. Okay, I'm gonna pull an oracle card for any final guiding messages that Spirit has for you. Okay. You got this, Moonflower, take a risk. Okay, I'm going to read it out from the book. Right. Do you have the courage to spin? Why? I tell you, Spirit, they really crack me up sometimes. Okay, let me start all over. Do you have the courage to spin the wheel of life and see what comes up? Playing it safe will not serve your current situation. No one is saying you should take a massive risk and gamble everything away. But nor should you refuse to make your move. It could be time for you to adopt a more positive mental attitude and see your glass as half full. A regular gratitude practice will help. Try doing your practice with friends or family for a few weeks. Adventure is calling somehow, and this card has come up because your higher self wants you to look further into it. As Marianne Williamson famously wrote, "Your playing small does not serve the world." It's time for you to take a risk and show the world who you really are and how you really feel. If your self-esteem is hampering you, this card is a sign to work on it for real. The wheel is still spinning when you get this card. Take a chance. How beautiful. Additional meanings for this card. Take a trip. Be optimistic. Love yourself more. Life is short. Make the most of it. Believe in yourself. Cool. Right. I hope this message resonates for you. However, many parts of it or all parts of it, that would be amazing. Please leave your comments in the comment section and share with me what you take away from today's reading. And for more personal reading, sorry, I keep forgetting this part. For more personal reading, if you'd like to find out more about your situation, please go to the description box below and find my link to book your personal reading with me. Last but not least, please follow, like, and subscribe if you like this video and for more future videos to come. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye!